Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Nisea. As you can see, this is not my usual background get up little thing. I'm at my friend's house actually for this quarantine, and so I decided to bring my camera because I was really excited to get these tutorials and stuff out for you guys. So for today, we're going to be learning how to crochet. Now, a lot of you guys, especially that follow me on my social media, know that I know how to knit and I know how to crochet. And so today we're going to be learning the basics of how to crochet today, which is how to do a slip knot, how to chain, and how to do a single crochet. And we're gonna start with that for now, and then we'll get into the more complicated stuff, you know, down the line. I'll be posting this video on IG and I will be posting it on YouTube, so whatever one works best for you, check it out. And if you are from YouTube, hey, what's up? I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to subscribe, support your girl, comment below. If you're on Instagram, make sure to comment, like, share. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, since y'all have nothing better to do except for learn some new shit, let's learn some new shit. Let's go. Alrighty, so I just wanted to show you guys really quick the crochet hooks that I have, and they come in different sizes depending on what yarn size or weight that you're working with, and it also depends on the project you're working on. Like, you could be looking up a certain pattern and you're using a certain yarn, and sometimes it calls for a smaller or larger hook, again depending on what the project is. So I just wanted to show you guys really quick the different sizes. Obviously you can see it's very small over here and pretty large to the right. What's also nice is that when you are buying your yarn, it does tell you usually on the label. Like, I've never seen yarn that hasn't had a recommendation of what hook to use, and it tells you the millimeter, not only the millimeter, but it tells you the letter. So for example, today we're going to be using a 5mm hook, which is also known as a size H hook or a size 8 hook. Okay, so for today we're going to be using this loops and thread yarn. It's in Line Impeccable, and down here it tells you all the details like I was telling you. So it tells you the yardage, the ounce, how much it weighs, and then also, like I said, it tells you the recommendation of which hook to use, or knitting needles if you're knitting. So again, since we're doing crocheting, we're going to be using this recommendation here, 5mm or a H/8 hook. And then it also tells you the yarn weight. Alrighty, so I'm going to teach you how to do a slip knot, and you have to learn how to do a slip knot every crochet project that you do. It's how you get a loop onto the needle, and you're not tying like a regular knot, so you're not going to be feeding the whole thing through and tying it loose. You don't want that. You don't even want this on there. It's not a stable, flexible knot. So when I say slip knot, it means it's really mobile. You can tighten it, you can loosen it to the desired, I guess, tightness for the project, or how you loose or how tight you want your chains to be. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna wrap the yarn around kind of like a ribbon, if that makes sense. So you're gonna take this, and you don't want to start all the way near the end because you do need some type of tail on it. So I'm gonna kind of start a little bit out here. There's enough here. I'm gonna twist it, right? So it looks like a ribbon here. Do you guys see that? And then I'm gonna take this tail end, and I'm gonna take the middle of it, just like how I took the middle of this, and I'm gonna stick this through that hole. And you don't want to pull it all the way through. You want to keep it like this. Stick your needle in, and these two tail ends here, you're gonna pull and tighten. And then, like I said, you can fix it depending, or tighten it depending on how tight you want your chains to be. And it's really easy, you just pull on both strings in order to tighten it. So let's do that again. So I'm going to take this out. What's great is that you can actually just pull on this and it comes undone. Really, really easy. So we're going to do this again. We're going to twist the yarn so that it's like a ribbon, like that. Then we're going to take the tail end and we're going to stick that through the loop. Then we're going to stick our needle through that part that we just stuck through, and we're going to tighten. And that is how you do a slip knot. That is how I do my slip knots each time. And it's going to take a minute to kind of like adjust to it, but it's super, super, super easy, guys, I promise you. So I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm going to do a little bit faster. So, just going to twist like a ribbon, push through like that, stick that yarn or the hook through that top part and pull and tighten. I am left-handed, so I'm holding the hook in my left hand and I'm feeding the yarn with my right hand. Now if you're right-handed, obviously it's going to be the opposite way. You're going to be holding it with your right hand and feeding the yarn with your left hand. Okay guys, so for chaining, make sure to not use any yarn that is coming from your tail end. My tail end's honestly like ridiculously long. It shouldn't be that long, but it's whatever. Always use the yarn that is attached to your yarn ball or your skein. So it's going to take like a minute to get adjusted and get comfortable of how to hold your yarn and how to get control and how to make it feel effective, if that makes sense. It definitely took me a while to get this down. So what I do with my right hand is that I'll have the yarn right between my middle finger and my pointer finger. And I pretty much just wrap it around the back, and that's about it, right? So I have it wrapped around the back here because this, when I'm pulling and it's tight, it creates tension. So I have a lot more control of what I'm feeding, and so like if it's loose like this, it's hard to control, right? So I'll find like a happy medium of what I think is best controlled for my work. Also, when you're chaining or when you're crocheting in general, what is best for me to also have control is that I like to hold on to the previous chain right here. And again, like I said, it provides me more stability, it provides me more control over my project. I'm going to grab this chain like right on the knot here, the slip knot, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around like this. Okay, so that is also called yarning over. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to create tension here, right, so that this yarn goes underneath that hook, right? So as I'm pulling up, that gets stuck underneath that hook, and then I kind of pull this bottom chain because this is going to go right over this hook. You see, and that is considered one chain. So we're going to do that again. So I'm just going to hold on to this knot again here. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to kind of pull my chain here so it's not so tight, and I'm going to put that bottom loop over the top loop. Okay, we're going to do this again. So yarn over and pull that bottom loop over the top loop. Also, if you're noticing that your chains are a little too tight, and you'll know because when you're trying to put that bottom loop over, there's a lot of tension, right? It's kind of hard to like put it over. You want to loosen up your chain. And how to do that is, right, if I have this so tight up here, like right on this needle, I can actually pull on the chain itself. Look, and it feeds me more yarn so that my chain is looser. Now, for the opposite problem, if your chains are just like way too loose, they're way too big, you just don't like them, they just look, I don't know, you're just not a fan, pull on this yarn, right? Because this is all wrapped around the yarn, so pretty much just, it's like a pulley system. So, you could pull on the chain to make it looser, pull on the yarn to make it tighter. I hope that makes sense. So let's continue to chain. We're gonna chain yarn over and put that bottom loop over the top loop. Yarn over, put the bottom over the top, yarn over, top, yarn over, go. And keep going until you feel you got it or that you're super, super comfortable. And if you don't like the way your chain's looking or things are just uneven, that is totally fine. What's great about this is that you can actually take the needle out and all you gotta do is just pull and it undoes it. And if you don't like it, you can literally start all the way over to that first slip knot or until the part that you don't like. Alrighty, so I'm going to chain 10. You can chain however many you want. I would at least do 10. If you want to do more, again, to get more comfortable, more familiar with it, go for it. So I'm just going to do a chain of 10 really quick, and then we can move on to learning your first stitch. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to do a single crochet, your first stitch. It's super exciting. So what you'll notice here is that there's two loops, right? There's a top loop and a bottom loop and even a third loop on this back. So how you're going to start your first stitch is you're going to go through these top little humps, bumps, lumps here. Don't go through the bottom, don't go through the back. Just a single one here. I'll show you an example. Like sticking it here. That makes sense. And you're just going to be dealing with that top part. Well, anytime that you are at the end of the row, you never go into that first stitch. You're always going to go into the second, third, or fourth, depending on the type of stitch that you are doing. For single crochet, if you're at the end of the row, you never go into this first one. You go into the second one. So what you're gonna do is skip one, go into two, just like that. You're going to yarn over like when you made a chain. Now, when you see this, you technically have about 3 loops on the yarn. You're going to take this chain, the middle loop, and put it over like that and keep that bottom one there. Then you're going to yarn over again, and then you're going to put both these hooks over. And that is how you single crochet. So you're gonna go into this next one right here, stab your hook into this, right? Yarn over, put the middle yarn over, so you have 2 left, yarn over again, and put all bottom loops over. Alrighty. Now go into this next chain. You're gonna do it again. Put your hook through. There's 2 loops on. Yarn over. Put that middle loop over. Yarn over again, and put both hoops over. Oop. There you go. Right, you're gonna do it again. This chain right here. Put the hook in. Yarn over. Drag that over. Yarn over. Both. Just keep doing this until you're comfortable. So, yarn over, one, yarn over, two. And that is how you single crochet. I'm just gonna finish out the end of my row here. And then we can turn our work. Alrighty, as you see, I finished my row, and so I'm going to start into the next row. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one and turn my work. Now this chain one, you don't count. You don't want to go into that, you go into the second one right here. So it's a little bit different when you're turning just because the stitches look different, right? So usually we were used to seeing this and going through the top here. When you're on like your second row, you're actually going to be going through both of these loops right here, right? And then you're going to yarn over and go through that, yarn over and go through both. And you're going to do that again, go through both loops, yarn over. Sorry, it's a little difficult looking into the camera and doing this. And then that. And then go through both loops, yarn over, and that. So that is how you single crochet. Next time we will be learning more difficult stitches. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this so far in the first series on how to crochet. I will see you guys next time.